Hey, this is Sam Black on the play with my 5th match with red-white tokens. Ooh, this is one of those interesting hands where it's really good except I don't have any way to make an artifact. I think when the hand is this good I like keeping it. I have a lot of draws to find an artifact. A lot of draws, I meant a lot of outs. I do want one pretty quickly. Like at this point, this has become a substantially below average hand, but Gideon can fix a lot. I don't know what my opponent's playing, so I don't know if this is likely to resolve or not. Void Shatter. Alright, well, this hand worked out very badly. Neither one of us has the draw we want. Yeah, I think I might as well attack with this. Well, my opponent's discarding. It's possible that they have a removal spell and they've decided it's not worth killing the apprentice. One mana short of being able to get Needle Spires killed and then play Gideon. Being only 1 mana short really makes me want to try to go for it. I figured my opponent would probably be glimmering there. If I hadn't drawn the Gideon, I would have attacked with Needle Spires to force a removal spell instead of the Glimmer, but Now I feel like Gideon would just get negated. Oh well. I don't think it's going to get better than this. I do need to start doing something now that my opponent's actually hitting lands. And I don't know that we'll play a lot of main deck negates, but not a small number. Drawn a fairly incredible number of lands. Yeah, I think this is going to get torrential gear hulked with reasonable likelihood, but just going to pass. I'm gonna pass again, try to set up a Bushwhacker turn. If I just draw some reasonable token maker or something. That's pretty good. Could get Void Shattered, but alright, I'll try for this one. So I can animate Needle Spires and play Bushwhacker. I guess that's what I have to do. And then probably not attack with the Bushwhacker. It's not an exciting spot. This is over. It was over when my opponent hit their 4th land. Okay, so once again, I don't want those. I do want this. And I'm trying to decide if I want declarations or something like make a stand. I think I need to respect the possibility of Lightning Weaver, or Weaver of Lightning. Make a stand is pretty bad if my opponent's answering things one at a time. Would have been a blank draw for all of that game. This is pretty awkward. I really don't think I want 2 declarations. But play with the Gideon and technically a good mix of lands and spells. No, I wanted to try to do better than this. I'll keep this. If I put that on top, it lets me play Inspector and then Copter, but I don't really care about getting Inspector down first. I'm just going to bottom this. Getting the Needle Spires into play tapped makes it more likely that I can play Gideon on 4 anyway. Obviously, I could have put the mountain on top so that I would be guaranteed to be able to play Gideon on 4, but I'd prefer to not draw more lands after that, and like if they're not blank because I have 2 Needle Spires, but I'd rather just have more options about how I curve, and I'll just play Gideon at some point. So now the question is, do I want to play Copter or Exhibition? Obviously Copter's better, but if I'm going to be playing around Harnessed Lightning, then I'm not attacking next turn if I play it. I think it's actually better to just get the Exhibition out here while my opponent likely can't answer it cleanly, and I can get a hit in and then play the Copter and then use the awkwardness of answering Copter to try to force through Gideon. Copter could get negated here. I think I'm just gonna overextend into a sweeper again. Again, if my opponent does have Radiant Flames, then if I draw land, I can play Gideon. An untapped land. Pretty easy to start with an attack here. My opponent didn't do anything, which means that they almost certainly have negate, so I'm just not going to play the Copter. Still expecting negate, so still not playing into it. So my opponent did also have non-negate spells. Oh, multiples, that's really bad. It's possible that this was the turn I was supposed to play into negate. Can my opponent's hand really just be all negates? Doesn't seem very likely. Trying to decide if I want to use Pia to stop something from blocking. I don't think I do. So, I could try to pump the Thopter up 3 times to trade with the Weaver, but I think my opponent just plays a removal spell then and it ends very badly for me. So, let's just pass here and see what happens. Alright. Sure, let's start with this. Unfortunately, it does not stick. is too bad, because getting to discard Scrapheap Scrounger would be very good. The problem is if I play another spell, my opponent can kill Pia. Or if my opponent plays another spell, my opponent can kill Pia. But I think we're at the point where we just need to try to cast these things. Okay. That resolved. I think I have to call that good enough. I don't think it's worth exposing and turning on Negate to kill Pia right now. Especially since Scrapheap Scrounger with Pia represents a pretty solid plan. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's very weird kind of not good. Yep. Alright, well, I'll resolve Gideon while I can. And I'm just going to make an emblem since my opponent can attack it pretty effectively. Maybe attacking it costs enough of my opponent's resources that it's awkward, but it also makes things much better against this Weaver. Yeah, and it makes my Needle Spires match up well against my opponent's Wandering Ephemeral. I think I'm content to just attack with the Scrounger. guess I might as well get in here. I don't especially expect it to resolve, but I'm not super committed to it. I don't think there's any real reason for Pia to attack. So I'd just like to highlight how good Scrounger is, where if this were anything else, I would not be anywhere near in this game, but it looks like Scrounger has a really good chance of just grinding my opponent down. And a declaration here. I don't think one card can save my opponent from two attackers here. I guess Torrential Gearhulk could. Okay, my opponent is just bluffing the Gearhulk. Alright, so, did all of that make me want to do anything different? Well, I know for a fact that my opponent has Weaver and Elder Deep Fiend. Makes it at least worth considering the last declaration. I guess I'll go one more declaration over one of the Bushwhackers. Bushwhacker's pretty bad against Weaver. And bad against killing all my stuff. Wonder if I should have something else instead of Bushwhacker, but like Selfless Spirit's not really any better against Weaver. It's probably worse. It's good with Copter against red removal, but I think I just want this. Nope. Well, I really don't think I should keep this, but it is interestingly kind of close. If I draw any land, I have a lot of good plays, but I'm going to ship it. Ugh. I don't think I can keep this. This I have to keep. And I think I have to put this on top. And then just hope to draw an artifact after that. I don't like my spot. On the draw with a pretty awkward 5. This is not good. I just need to draw more cards than I can draw. I guess if my opponent taps out for that, and then I draw an untapped land, no, I don't really have attacks into Wandering Fumarole at the moment. Although, no, I can do it bluffing land Gideon, but it's too likely that my opponent just blocks and it's horrible for me. It's interesting that where some people might play Dynavault Tower, my opponent is playing Filigree Familiar. Seems like a weird choice to me. Dynavault Tower seems like it should be better. I guess my opponent is playing Elder Deep Fiend, and apparently Kozilek's Return. I guess that makes it make a little bit more sense. Alright, well, this isn't going to work, but I'm not winning any other way at this point. Alright. So I'm afraid of Elder Deep Fiend and just want to see what's happening this turn. The opponent has Kozilek's Return, so Elder Deep Fiend's really bad for me. Every mode of Gideon seems bad against it. I guess I just plus. So my hope here is that either my opponent doesn't have Deep Fiend, or, well, if my opponent has Deep Fiend, it's just going to be pretty horrible for me. I'll tap Gideon and all my lands and kill my creatures. No Deep Fiends. So am I supposed to serve Exhibition here? Probably not. I have about as much stuff on the board as I feel comfortable having on the board. It's remarkably similar to an Elder Deep Fiend. Ugh. So now I need a Declaration in Stone. It's not a great thing to need when my opponent has 6 cards. Yeah, alright, this Gideon cannot save me here.